Hello everybody, my name is Josh, and this is Monday Night Arena Fight. This week's event is a special one that has you with double life, so I'm going to build a standard deck that takes advantage of having that extra life, and I thought it might be a good process to go ahead and show off how I build a deck. So there is one card that I've been wanting to play with and I think would make an excellent deck for this format, and that is a Liliana's Contract deck. Liliana's Contract, when it comes into play, you draw 4 cards and lose 4 life, but the great thing about it is at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. So I would like to try and play this and win with it. I'm going to put in 2 of Liliana's contract holders. So we're going to start with Razaketh the Foul-Blooded and Demon Lord Belzenlock. And then, let's see, I really like Demon of Catastrophes, so I'm going to put one of those in. Ahmed Eternal comes down early and can be a good help. We'll probably have a cycling sub-theme, so I'm going to put in Archfiend of Ifnir. And I do plan on playing with a number of cards that put cards in our graveyard. So I'm going to put Apocalypse Demon in as well. And for the last, let's see, that's 1, 2, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 demons in. Demon of Catastrophes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 demons with different names. So we'll put in the Rite of Belzenlock, and that will give us 7 different demons with different names. I don't feel like going in on the energy plan, so Demon of Dark Schemes, no, he does produce his own energy. Let's go ahead and throw him in there too. So if we're playing a very flavorful Liliana deck, or very flavorful Liliana's Contract deck, that means we need Liliana's. And I have 2. So I'm going to throw in Death's Majesty and Death Wielder. Death Wielder can get back all of our demons once they've been killed. So that's a good way to just out of nowhere come up with the 4 demons we need. And Death's Majesty just gets reanimates from the graveyard. Again, just puts it right into play, so be able to make sure we keep up our demon count. Okay. To keep up with some of our demons that require us to sacrifice creatures, we're going to need Sacrifice Bait. We could always play Stitcher Supplier, but I don't want to risk throwing our Liliana's into the graveyard. Reassembling Skeleton's a great creature to be able to sacrifice over and over again, as is Scrap Heap Scrounger. I'm going to put a couple of those in. What else can we do? Deathbloom Thallid creates an extra creature to sacrifice, but it might be on a bit on the expensive side. Ah, there. I was looking for Doomed Dissenter. This will give us 2 sacrifice creatures. And so now, I think the only thing I need left, other than working on the lands, is to get some cycling cards, and to put in a couple of removal spells. So, just because we want our Archfiend of Ifnir to do things, let's put in this tutor. Go ahead and put 3 of those in. Go ahead and put in a full playset of Desert of the Glorified. And let's see, is there any other cycling cards that I really want? Wandering Death can get us back 2 creatures, so we'll go ahead and take that. Now, I'm going to finish up my deck with 10 removal spells. So I want them all to be instants. I think the first playset I'm going to add is going to be Vraska's Contempt, just to make sure that we can deal with any indestructible things that come our way. And I think the next best one to go ahead and hit is Cast Down. Okay. And I know I said I was going to put removal, but we're going to do a different kind of removal for our last 2 cards. Let's see. I am going to take Lost Legacy, because I expect there to be a lot of combo decks in this event. Just taking out somebody's best win condition can be very helpful. Alright, and then just grab some lands. I have an Arch of Vraska, Field of Ruin to kill off any opposing non-basics. We're running quite a few swamps, so we can run these Cabal Strongholds. And I think I'm going to run a Memorial to Folly, and that should about do it. Alright, let's confirm this baby up, and I'll start the event. Okay, here we are, game 1. So, just starting off, we've got 3 lands and a Liliana's Contract already. The ability to cycle the Razaketh's Right, and the possibility of getting Rite of Bells and Luck. I think I'm going to keep this. Not sure how well it will do, but we've got the card that we want in our opening hand, and we have the ability to cast most of our hand now, so let's not give any information on what we're playing. Just drop an Arch of Vraska. Okay. Put the swamp out and pass turn. I'm not quite sure what our opponent is doing yet. It looks like they're playing basic creatures. Okay, that gets us 5. Well, I'll go ahead and cast Lost Legacy and see if we can't see what our opponent's up to. I'm going to, I know they have a Centaur Coursers in their deck, so I'm going to hit those. Ah, Blanchwood Armor. Okay. And I'll be able to drop that next turn. Let's see, what else do they have? A Galta. Okay, a Rabid Bite, Vivian's Invocation, and a Gigantosaur. Okay. So they're just playing Green Stompy. Okay, we've got a Vraska's Contempt. Now, I would normally just take out this Blanchwood Armor with our Lost Legacy, but we have a Vraska's Contempt now, so it's likely we can 2-for-1 our opponent, so I'm going to pass the turn. Okay, I'm just going to take the damage here. I don't feel like I'm overly threatened. But if our opponent doesn't do anything, then we will get rid of this Brindleboard. Okay, now that we've shown the Vraska's Contempt, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the Blanchwood Armors from our opponent's deck. That way we don't have to deal with either of them. And pass the turn. We'll save this Contempt for one of their big dudes. Turn. Go ahead and get out Liliana's Contract. And hopefully we'll hit a land. We did. There we go. Okay, there's a prodigious growth in our opponent's hand. Alright, let's get out our swamp. We will... Let's see, what do we need? We'll go ahead and activate False Stronghold. That gets us 5 mana. And we've got a total of 8. So, I'm going to put out Rite of Bells and Lock. That'll give us 2 tokens and a Demon of Catastrophes. Sacrifice one of the tokens and pass the turn. Okay, we'll block the Centaur Courser, and because the creatures have trample, there's no need to block with our Cleric token. Go ahead and play out a Swamp. So then this will produce 6 mana. Okay, we will activate this. Get out a Reassembling Skeleton. And go ahead and put out a Scrap Heap Scrounger. And then use our last 2 mana to cycle Wandering Death. And then we pass turn and see what our opponent does. We're going to probably Vraska's Contempt the Mammoth here, but I want to see what they put Prodigious Growth on. That's what I thought was going to happen, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Okay, now we'll get a demon. Cabal Stronghold for 7 mana. Go to 8. And throw out Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. And then pass turn. With Razaketh out, I'm going to sacrifice one of my creatures to go find a last demon. Creature playing back deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Okay, so they're targeting a Scrap Heap Scrounger, so I'll just sacrifice it and go search for a demon. Let me get Archfiend of Ifnir. That way we can cycle and take care of our opponent's board next turn if we need to. Block. Turn. Sacrifice a Cleric token. And then play a Swamp. Go ahead and play out the Archfiend of Ifnir. And we'll pass turn. Okay, we'll go ahead and cycle this. Okay, so fighting again, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the Archfiend to go find a different demon. Let's get Apocalypse Demon this time. Okay, just waiting on our opponent to make their choice. I don't have the mana to draw a card, so we'll just pass. This time I will sacrifice Reassembling Skeletons. And we will activate this. Play our Demon and reanimate our Reassembling Skeletons. And pass turn. Now we should be able to win next turn. Not sure what our opponent could have that will stop us at this point other than maybe something to destroy an enchantment. Okay. And then we should win. Go ahead and kill off the Reassembling Skeleton. Eat a Cleric. And Liliana's Contract kills our opponent. And that seemed to work pretty good. Alright, we're off to game 2. Well, this hand can get there possibly, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. It's got 3 lands in it, and some cycling cards, so if we don't find lands early enough, we can get rid of some of our cards to find them. Okay. And play another desert. And I forgot to greet our opponent. Okay. Pass. Cycle off one of our Wandering Deaths. And, well, that found us something to play, so at least we can block the 1/1 now, possibly. Nope, they have a removal spell. And we do have a bunch of Vraska's Contempts, so if we can find our land, we should be good. Go ahead and cycle off that. There it is. Okay. There's really no reason to play this Wandering Death, so we'll pass turn here. Oh, it looks like our opponent's playing a very similar deck as we are, so this could be relatively fun. Okay. And there's our 5th land, so we'll go ahead and put out the Archfiend of Ifnir. If our opponent can solve it, we do have this Wandering Death to get both the Amit Eternal and the Archfiend back. If they don't, well, looks like our opponent's going to take out probably our contract. If they read what it does. I guess they didn't guess what we were playing, so... Okay, go ahead and play that. We'll move to combat. Go ahead and just get in with our Archfiend of Ifnir and pass the turn. We'll cycle a Wandering Death. Just make all of our opponent's creatures smaller. Okay, and we found another Vraska's Contempt. We'll hold on to these for the demons. Okay. I'm not sure what demons they're playing. I'm pretty sure they've either got Razaketh or Belzenlock, if not both. So we'll go ahead and hit Demon Lord Belzenlock. Alright, they have Soul Stinger, Demon of Dark Schemes, Herald of Anguish, Archfiend of Ifnir, and Baleful Amit. Okay. Doesn't look like too terribly much that I'm afraid of. One thing I forgot to put in this deck is the Phyrexian Scriptures. That would have been very helpful in this situation. Okay, they're going for another contract. Let's see. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap Apocalypse Demon unless you sacrifice another creature. Well, I'm just gonna put out another Archfiend. I don't think I want to block the Ravenous Chupacabra still, but at least this way we could kind of race our opponent. Okay, they have a Soul Stinger. Well, let's go ahead and take out the one demon that they have. And I will run out a Scrappy Scrounger. Okay, they are searching for 2 cards. Probably going to put a demon in the graveyard so that they can either reanimate it with their Eldest Reborn or they're going to take one of ours. Right now, I'm just waiting on trying to get a Lily back, or trying to get a Lily out. So, and what did they put in their graveyard? An Amid Eternal. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we'll go to combat. Attack. Since the Scrounger can't block, we'll go ahead and attack with it. Alright. Now, if our opponent tries to reanimate one of our demons, we'll just remove it with the Scrounger. That way they don't get any value out of it. Well, they got value out of the other parts of the saga, but they won't get value out of the last verse. Okay, they're taking our Archfiend of Ifnir. And I'm just going to go ahead and contempt it. Now negate this combat step. Okay, Demon of Dark Schemes comes out, and they're going to get 6 energy. And we are immediately going to Vraska's Contempt that demon too. And play out a Reassembling Skeletons, and pass turn. Okay. Our opponent has 1 demon in the graveyard and a Ravenous Chupacabra, so that can we'll probably have to take care of this Awakener. Well, what are they going to bring back? Chupacabra. They could bring back the Eternal. Well, let's just throw out Liliana this turn. What demon do I have in my graveyard? I have an Amid Eternal, so this turn I am just going to create a zombie.
Servitude? Think of it as...
And then we'll pass turn. What did I mill? A Doomed Dissenter. Okay. It's not bad. We can always get it back from our graveyard. We can also get back the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Okay, they're going to reanimate the Chupacabra like I thought they were going to. Killing off the zombie token. Go ahead and block with the skeleton. And then we'll reanimate the skeleton. Okay, what else do they have in here? A Gifted Etherborn. Okay, I'm going to use Liliana's ability to bring back the Doomed Dissenter. That way we'll have two good blocks. And I am just going to take care of this right now. Okay. And we're going to kill off our Lily. Alright, so now we're just in top deck mode for both of us. I do have the ability to get back the Scrap Heap Scrounger, but I'm going to wait for a minute. The Amit Eternal is probably more important to me. Okay, I'm going to cycle off this land. Go ahead and play our Demon of Catastrophes, sacrificing our skeleton. And pass the turn. It'd be nice to draw one of our Liliana's contracts. Okay, they have a Herald of Anguish. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card. Well, we're both in top deck mode, so I don't think that's a problem at the moment. Go ahead and put the skeleton back out. Move to combat. We'll attack with Demon of Catastrophes. Play a second Demon of Catastrophes. And pass the turn. Okay, they made us discard a card that we don't have. We'll bring back our skeleton. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop this Memorial to Folly. There's no real reason to increase... Okay, they have a Field of Ruin, so now I'll take care of the Memorial. There's no real reason for us to attack with both creatures, so I'm just going to attack with one Demon of Catastrophe. Next turn, there is a reason to attack with both, but one of them's probably dying here, so... Okay, we can't block that, and And then I am going to go ahead and bring back our Scrap Heap Scrounger, getting rid of the copy of Demon of Catastrophes. This will put a little bit more pressure on our opponent. There's a Field of Ruin. Get in with both of these. Okay, well, we have a Cabal Stronghold now, so I'm going to go ahead and Field of Ruin their Field of Ruin. Play Cabal Stronghold, and then I will pass turn. Alright, they have 3 demons now. That's not good for us. We'll need to find a removal spell here post-haste. The Arch will help. Okay, so let us do that. We will Razaketh's Right. Now, I said I need to find a kill spell, which is what I am going to immediately find with Cast Down. And then I'm going to take care of Herald of Anguish. Since we can't kill the Whisper. And we're going to bring back Ravenous Chupacabra, which is going to kill off our demon. That's fine. And then we will attack with the Scrounger. Alright. We are in a pretty good position life-wise, so Demon Lord Belzamon. Let's see how many times we hit. Quite a few times. Alright, and our opponent has conceded. On to Game 3. Well, we're doing pretty good, I think, with a not truly optimized deck. I just want to kind of figured I wanted to play and just threw together real quick. So this is a tough hand to keep, but it does have a contract in it. It has the ability to cycle, but the lands are low. I'm going to keep it. Just because it has our win condition in it. And I do have a way to get out of Mana Screw if the lands don't flow. A little way to get out, so. And we have some things to do, so it's not that dire. Okay, our opponent's playing blue-green. At this point, I'm going to assume they're playing a Nexus of Fate Bant deck. But they could also be playing Merfolk. But if they were playing Merfolk, they probably would have had a drop on 1 and on 2. And now we're just waiting for our opponent to make their decision. Yep, they're playing a Bant deck. So I'm assuming that means that they're playing Teferi, Nexus of Fate, probably a Approach of the Second Sun. Okay, the lands are flowing good, so we'll move to combat and attack. And if we don't see a Teferi here, I will be slightly surprised, but Grow from the Ashes, also good. Okay, let's get out our Stronghold. We'll throw out another Doomed Dissenter. Move to combat. Oh, they're playing in a Johnny. Okay.
A heart at peace gives
Put all
life.
non-land permanents revealed this way into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library.
Come, we will seek a chord together.
Okay, so I guess they're not playing necessarily. Okay. Exile target creature, its controller gains life equal to its power. And Vivian is, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Well, can't let them keep drawing cards, so we'll go ahead and take out the Ajani. And then hope we hit another land. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cycle Razaketh's Gift. Or right. Go ahead and play that, and then we'll pass turn. We don't really care about the life gain in the grand scheme of things. I care more about them drawing the cards. But overall, we're not trying to win with by beating our opponent down anyways. Yep.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint. You know what? I'm not done yet.
And we've probably lost this game at this point. because we're probably not going to succeed in playing anything. Yep. Okay. We're done here. Oh. Okay, this has lands and things to do, so we're going to go ahead and keep it. Greet our opponent, which I forgot to do last time. Okay, our opponent's going to put us down even slower than this format has us going anyways. Well, that's nice to see, I guess. If we get a 5th land, we should be golden. Okay, cultivate caravan. Alright, combat, attack. And we'll go ahead and put out the skeleton. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so our opponent's gonna tutor their deck for a card. Alright, so they're playing big mana. We'll go ahead and play our Desert of the Glorified, move to combat, attack with the Scrounger. We're okay with trading there. Okay, I'm guessing Chaos Wand deck, but they're going to get a Power Stone Shard. Go ahead and tutor while we have a chance. Get out our contract and pass turn. Well, not get it out, but get it to our hand. Okay, they're gonna tutor again. Okay, they found Arcane Encyclopedia to draw cards. They are tapped out, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop Liliana's contract. Okay, Memorial to Folly, and then we'll have to discard. I will discard Apocalypse Demon. Now, I'm not entirely sure what our opponent is doing. I don't know what their win condition is necessarily. Okay, they have invoked the Divine. That's annoying. But I have a feeling it has to do with Paradox Engine. Well, we won't block here because I want to play our Demon of Catastrophes. So I am going to go ahead and look for Paradox Engine. Am I remembering the name wrong? Alright, well, let's just get Power Stone Shard. Oh, I can't name an artifact, that's why. Duh. In that case, I guess aerial maneuvers is the... Nope. Okay. Let's hit the crane. Okay, they have Forsake the Worldly. And they do have a Nexus of Fate. And they also have a Settled Wreckage, Torrential Gear Hulk. Okay, they're playing an approach deck. Okay, and I know they have another Forsake the Worldly in their hand, so I don't want to play that out. Well, we don't want to play another Liliana's Contract out. Now I have to choose whether I want to get rid of their Nexus of Fate or their Approach of the Second Sun. I think it's gonna be Approach, so go ahead and drop Field of Ruin. We'll cast Razaketh's Right. Get Lost Legacy. Okay, and let's take out one of their win conditions. Then we'll move to combat and attack. Okay, our opponent went and got Immortal Sun, so now our Lilianas don't do anything. And they're not attacking us with their Cultivator's Caravan for some reason. Play a Swamp, combat, attack with the Demon. And I will go ahead and Razaketh's Right. I'm going to go ahead and find Liliana's Contract. I know that they could probably kill it, but at this turn, or at this point, I just need to get something in my hand. And I will be right back. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Had an emergency that I had to take care of, but I'm back now. Alright, so our opponent has taken our demon. And has also put us on the mill plan. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cast down their trophy mage. And then we will reanimate the reassembling skeletons. What else do we have in our graveyard? Anything? Nope. If I have to get there with 1 damage, I will. And drop Liliana's contract. Okay. I guess let's put a Doomed Dissenter in play. And then I am going to at least take care of one of their sources of card advantage. And then pass. Oh, nope, don't pass turn. I think I already passed it. Nope. Okay, so we'll get in with our skeleton. And then I pass turn. I assume our opponent's going to forsake the worldly. Yep. Okay. Now we have a second Scrounger in our graveyard, so our opponent has found all of their Power Stone shards. Okay, well, that's sad. And gets rid of one of our Lilianas. Cabal Stronghold. Alright, Bells and Luck. Let's get something going. Nope, didn't get anything going. We'll go ahead and take out another Doomed Dissenter. Okay, move to combat. Attack with our 2 dudes. And end the turn. Okay, so this at the end of this turn, we're going to bring back both our Scrap Heap Scroungers. Oops, I meant to bring back both our Scrap Heap Scroungers, but I'm kind of a dumb. We're walking into a Settle the Wreckage, but that's okay. Oh, they didn't have one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop Archfiend of Ifnir. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll pass turn. Okay, We are probably dead. Don't really see a way for us to not be dead with us milling 6 cards a turn, at least. If they find a Cloud Blazer, nope, that's okay. And that was it for our event. You only had 2 losses to give, so I think I did okay with a deck that I just kind of threw together real quick with going 2 and 2. So what did we get? An Aerialist and a Sphinx's Decree. So thank you for joining me on this Monday Night Arena fight, and I'll see you next week. Bye.